Palooza presents SCP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wilde.
You know what? Screw the Blues.
Wow.
Screw them and the horse they rode in on.
How? What? You can't just start the show like that, Adam.
I can't.
Everyone is cheering for the St. Louis Blues
No
this morning.
one's cheering for the St.
How
Louis
dare
Blues.
you? Everyone is cheering for the St. Louis Blues.
Nobody's cheering for the St. Louis Blues.
Why do you say
Because anybody with any sense would have picked Chicago over St. Louis. You guys picked them on a wing and a prayer, and now you get to bask in your own awesomeness, but there is no damn way that anybody with any sort of intelligent sense picks the St. Louis Blues going into this series.
That's just so interesting, Jesse. Do you want to Google Translate on what he just said? He thinks we have no sense.
No sense.
Because we picked the St. Louis Blues.
Yes.
Wait, what was the right choice?
I think the right choice, now correct me if I'm wrong, when you pick a playoff bracket, your intention, your main goal, if you will,
Okay.
is to pick the winning team.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to pick the losing team.
Oh, well, see, now you goofed up.
Did I goof up or did someone else?
You know
goof
what?
up?
Screw you guys. Screw you guys. I hope St. Louis loses the next series. I hope they get swept. I hope they lose.
They're playing Dallas.
I hope they lose. I hope they lose in 3 games. Okay. I hope they lose in 3, maybe 2.
Wow. You
Just
think
out.
this is the AHL, Adam?
Walk away. Walk away.
Doesn't play
Just
out like
walk
that.
away. Yes.
Just walk away. Doesn't happen like that, buddy.
Well.
How you feeling?
Damn.
How you feeling with that
Somebody-
all the way ruined bracket?
I woke up this morning to literally 10 tweets of people going, "Rest in peace, Adam Wilde's bracket." Like,
Oh, my God.
I have gotten my butt handed to me in the playoffs this year. Like, I did pretty well last year. This year has just been bad. All the way around. Bad.
I don't even remember who I picked in the Panthers-Islanders series.
Well, and the thing is, it's not even just who's won. It's the amount of game in the series. Like, who would have thought that we'd be looking at a Ducks-Preds 7th game?
I did.
I had...
You did? Did you actually call
Yes.
You know what? He did.
Yeah.
that? Wow.
But who did you say was going to win?
Anaheim.
Anaheim.
And I'm going to get that
Good,
right.
because you're all right. They have
I
to
said
win.
Anaheim in 5.
Man, so did I. I took LA over San Jose.
LA was my big loss, too. That's a bracket herder.
Someone here picked San Jose, and that's me.
Oh my God, Jesse.
Of course, Jesse.
Who else? I mean, like, really? Now, Jesse, did you pick Dallas to beat Minnesota in 4-2?
I had 4 games. I think I had a sweep, so that.
I think I had 4-1.
I think I had 5.
And the thing is too, it drives me crazy. There's no way, like, truly, the way the Islanders won that last game. There was kind of a couple blown calls and a
couple?
maybe. I felt as though maybe Florida deserved to win that game.
You know what? So many people love the put your whistles away approach, and it is absolutely the right thing to do until it's not. Until the game is on the line, there's a guy with an empty net and he gets tripped. Like, guys, congratulations to the New York Islanders. I talked mad smack about them. I didn't think they could pull it off. And they had Thomas Greiss in net, and holy smokes, they pulled it off. And look at them going on to round 2. The Panthers were robbed in Game 6. Doesn't mean they would have won Game 7. Hey, who knows? Maybe the Islanders tie that game up and win it in overtime anyway, but they were robbed.
And we were robbed. We were robbed of an all-Florida second round, which would have been cool. That would have been so cool.
Actually, Adam, it would have been warm. You see, because...
That was a good
I bet
one.
you didn't know I'm a dad.
Soon to be.
Hey, you calm down.
I'm just starting pregnancy rumors for Steve.
Hey, maybe
Steve
don't,
is pregnant.
Maybe don't do that. Listen, I am already a dog father.
And in all honesty, I mean, it looked. Everything else kind of played out the way it should have. Tampa definitely should have beaten Detroit.
Disagree.
Washington.
What? Oh yeah, you had Detroit going far, didn't you?
Yeah. See, can't
Only
have them
to
all,
the
Jesse.
second round.
Can't have them all.
Only to the second round.
Washington definitely should have beaten Philadelphia, and I don't even think they should have let Philly win 2 games. Like, I really felt like Washington should have swept that series.
Game 4 could have gone either way. Game 5, if they replay that game 10 times, the Caps win 9.
Yeah.
They just happen to lose that one. But you see the value now in taking out a team even a game earlier than expected or a game later than expected. Heading into the playoffs, if I told you Caps Penguins first round, who would you have picked?
Caps.
Caps, undeniably, and so would have I. Jesse?
Caps.
Undeniably, and so would have I. Now it's round 2. the Caps got banged up by the Flyers for 6 games.
Yep.
The Penguins had a cup of tea against the New York Rangers. I mean, with all due respect to the Rangers, the Penguins barely broke a sweat.
Well, and
now who do you got?
And I mean, it was such a drubbing that the new NY Ragners on Twitter
yes.
tweeted that Lundqvist is gone.
You really got to give the social media coordinator for the New York Ragners. Oh goodness, what a career! What a star-studded career Henrik Lundqvist had. Oh,
If you missed it, Steve, can you give some background to that?
well,
No, you don't have to say whom. But
Oh,
what happened? What happened?
so there's this reporter who basically he retweeted an account that said Henrik Lundqvist has retired. And this is, by the way, this is like 20 minutes after the Rangers got eliminated from the playoffs. So immediate red flag. And this,
Yeah, because there's no way Henrik Lundqvist goes, tonight I'm done.
yeah, and right away, no, even if he just right after the game is like, I am done. The Henrik Lundqvist era is over. Done.
Terminated.
This was my last game as a New York Ranger. Even if that was true, I doubt the Rangers would be like rushing to tweet that out.
Right.
Rushing to tweet it out. I don't think they would be doing that. And this reporter goes, oh my goodness, what a way to go out. Gets pulled in his last 2 games and all this. And the tweet comes from the NY Ragners, not the New York Rangers account.
It's like there's one reporter from ESPN, Pierre LeBrun,
yes.
who what is it? There's like a real _ LeBrun ESPN, and then a real LeBrun _ ESPN.
So many fake
And it's
accounts.
so close that everybody get it. I mean, I think that account broke several trades that were untrue several trade deadlines ago.
And people go, and they can't retweet it fast enough. Everyone,
Check the blue check mark.
I've said it before. I've said it again, or I'll say it again. Give it a second. Wait.
But I gotta be first.
See, the real account is real _ ESPN LeBron, and then the fake account is real ESPN LeBron. So the real account doesn't have the underscore.
By the way,
So
that's
people
why
kinda get confused.
That's why I'm Steve _ Dangle. By the way,
Someone else had Steve Dangle.
someone else had Steve Dangle, and I didn't find out until months later. It was actually someone from Nike who noticed I didn't have a Twitter account, so they reserved it for me. And I'm like, what? But then they just weren't paying attention for a while. They weren't paying attention for a while, and I'm like, but I already have followers on this one now. I'm not.
But you could have just changed your
Yeah, you
name.
could just change the handle.
Well, now it's been in several hundred episodes of this show. It's just saying Steve _ Dangle, fancy voice lady and handsome voice man, and
Yep.
it's just my handle now. That's just what it is now.
Wow. Wow. That's you. Well,
That's my life.
and the thing was that ESPN LeBron thing, that was when you had to put real in your name because there was no verified on Twitter. So you could have been talking to, like, there were fake celebrities everywhere back in the day. It was the Wild West. You weren't sure who you were talking to.
By the way, there is a presidential candidate with real in their Twitter handle.
Really? Which one?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
At Donald Trump on Twitter.
That's a good question. It's a really good question. By the way, if you're not already, there's a guy out there, and you can just Google this. Donald Trump is an egg.
The real at Donald Trump is an egg with 5,000 followers.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool.
No tweets.
Most of them Donald Trump fans who would follow an egg instead of the one with his picture on it.
Again, people who just can't wait. There he is! And they found him! Got him! Tag him and bag him!
There is a guy who's, I believe, verified, and he's got 40 or 50,000 followers, who is Ted Cruz's roommate in college. And he said that they were talking about self-pleasure and how Ted Cruz thinks that's an issue.
Oh, like indulging in a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah, well, more of a bedroom pleasure, a sexual pleasure, you might
Like
say.
playing video games.
No,
yeah.
I don't think.
Jesse's got it. Jesse's got it.
So anyway, this
when I
guy
win joysticks.
This guy said that Ted Cruz thinks that's a public health risk. I can tell you that in college, Ted Cruz did not think that was a public health risk.
Oh my goodness.
It was good times.
But what does
It's
Andrew
great.
Peters think about all this?
Well, I don't. Has there been any follow from that?
Absolutely not. No.
He hasn't responded at all.
No, there's no reason to. Why would he? What would he say? What would he add? I don't have a Hockey DB page, Adam.
You do now. There were several tweeted at us, and they were great.
That's true. Someone made me a Hockey DB page, and my picture is Iggy with a stick.
Amazing. Anyway, back to hockey for a second.
Yes.
So we've got
We've
got some matchups here that we should talk about for the second round, especially because by the time most people listen to this show, the Ducks and Preds game will be over and we'll have a win of one of the two. So we'll start with that second round series, okay? So we've got the Ducks or Preds versus the Sharks. No matter what team wins here, does it stop the Sharks?
There's another example of I would have taken the Ducks, but the Sharks win in 5. Ducks have to go 7. I'm having a real hard time. And Brent Burns looked unstoppable.
And Martin Jones.
Looked stoppable. That's a word. That's a word now. I kind of think the Sharks probably take the Ducks or the Preds. Ducks might take a nastier chunk out of them. I think the Sharks just might make the conference final this year.
The Predators have been surprising with how gritty they are because they're not a high-scoring team, even with Johansson, and it just seems like they're still living in the Barry Trotz era without Barry Trotz. You know,
they
they're
never
still
have
defensive.
been. Never have been. In 1 year, they were loaded offensively, and I think they got knocked out round 1.
Yeah.
It's when they had Peter Forsberg for a very, very, very short amount of time.
So that one, you think Sharks now?
I'm thinking Sharks now.
All right, we've got Dallas and we've got St. Louis. Again, I hope it's a 3 game sweep and St. Louis is out in 3.
Now,
even though it's not mathematically possible.
So, you know who was bad this year?
Who?
The Leafs.
No kidding.
You know who else was bad this year?
Who?
Montreal Canadiens.
True.
I bet if some crazy billionaire just came along and was like, I will pay you all millions of dollars, every player on each team, I'll pay you millions of dollars to have a 7-game series right now. Go. So let's pretend the Leafs and Habs had a series right now. I bet you it would be really good because it'd be 2 relatively even skill sets.
Relatively bad teams. Although if Carey Price is playing, then
Carey Price get to play?
No.
Okay.
Because he's probably still not better. But I don't know. That's another conversation for another day. I think that series would be good for the same reason that Minnesota-Dallas was good. That was the best junior hockey series I've seen in a while. Holy smokes! No goalie could stop a beach ball. It was brutal. Who do you know, Adam?
I don't know him.
Well, there you go. There you go. The best goalie in that series, save percentage-wise, was Kari Lehtinen. If the best goalie in your playoff series is Kari Lehtinen, you had a rough series. Dubnyk was terrible. Well, he also got lit up.
Yep.
Not all his fault. Dallas Stars have a lot of firepower. And Antti Niemi was even worse. It was just brutal. It was just brutal. And you know, I don't know if you know this, Adam. I have a deep, bitter hatred of the Minnesota Wild.
I didn't know that.
I don't, actually. Which is why it's awkward that I have the eulogy on Puck Daddy for the Minnesota Wild.
Open?
I've been... No. I'm still writing it. It might be up by the time people hear this.
Oh.
But I've been waiting years to write a eulogy for Puck Daddy, so I was like, I'll write any of them. I'll take the Wild. And then afterwards, I was like, why did I pick the Wild?
Hey, whatever, man. Okay, so you're going to be on Puck Daddy.
But I got it figured out. Now, here's a question. Did the Stars really get a chunk taken out of them by the Wild?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but I bet they feel pretty human. And then I look at the Blues, and holy smokes, how good they had to be, especially in Game 7. And, oh, God, that was just such a war. Can I just make a prediction right now? Sharks, Stanley Cup Final.
Wow. Because you think the Sharks will beat the Blues.
I think the Sharks will beat either of Anaheim or Nashville. The Blues will probably beat the Stars, but they're just going to be so beat up by the time they get to the conference final. I think the Sharks are able to handle them. They go to the Stanley Cup Final.
Now,
this might be the Sharks' year, man.
It might be. Now, Dallas is hilarious to me because they remind me of, they're like the Toronto Raptors of this year's NHL playoffs. Really good in the regular season, high scoring, high flying, and you get to the playoffs and
there were
not
a few contenders, man. People were dying to be that this year. The Caps were trying to be it for a while. Mm-hmm. The Sharks finally stopped being it. That was neat.
Yep.
The Blues tried to be that for a while.
Well, it will be very interesting to see how St. Louis handles that high-powered Dallas offense. If they can figure out a way to contain it, which they have the personnel to do it.
By the way, 21 goals in 6 games for the Stars without Tyler Seguin.
Is he coming back for this series?
He's done for the year, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because Lindy Ruff was updating game by game,
Oh.
saying, he's not playing in game 2. He's not playing in game 3. He's not playing in game 4.
I will bring that up.
Interesting. That would be a huge hit.
Yeah.
With Seguin, they might have a chance. Without, go to bed.
All right, we've got the Islanders in Tampa Bay.
Man.
All of a sudden more interesting now that Florida's lost.
Wasn't I so right, though, about how the Islanders handled Florida? I don't even remember who I picked in that one, but I said I bet Florida and their youth and their skill, all of it, all very admirable, I bet they struggle against the kind of playoff tested Islanders. Even
You're
though
right.
the Islanders haven't made the second round since '93.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
But you're right. I mean, they've been to they made the playoffs, they've lost in the playoffs, they know what it is, and now finally they're not the young team anymore.
They're still
Or at
pretty
least-
young.
But they're not the youngest on the ice.
And you know what I discovered in the series? I said I wasn't scared of the New York Islanders heading into the playoffs. I'm still not. You know who I am scared of? John Tavares. How many players in this league have true beast mode? Like, just
Turn it on.
an ability to turn it on, and you are not stopping them. You cannot. Maybe 10?
Maybe.
Crosby, Malkin, Ovechkin, help me out. You know?
I think there's less than 10.
You might add John Tavares to that group. Holy smoke. When he wanted to take over the series, he did. And that's all he did. They took him out in 6. So now they take on the Lightning.
Who are pretty deep. Now, I got a tweet this morning. You're going to love this. Stamkos is skating on the fourth line for the Lightning.
Interesting. I wonder how close he is to coming back.
I don't know.
Because the last report was it's unlikely he'll return before the final.
I don't know.
Just saying.
He
Now,
feels like a freaking maniac, though. If he's back, like, it would just be like...
he really is like a Zerg.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, him and Carlson. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Oh, these young kids these days, they heal up like bugs. It's unbelievable.
Tampa is deep, but they don't have that John Tavares type. You would give that to Steven Stamkos, maybe, but he's not playing.
And he had such a hard time becoming that last year, too. You know who might be that is Victor Hedman. I thought Alex Pietrangelo looked very Victor Hedman-like in the way he kind of took over the game for the Blues. But I think this is going to be another even series. And here's... I'm just going to throw it out there. The Sharks, again, they might win it all. The Caps and Penguins are about to go through a war.
Now, this is the series that everybody wanted, and this is the series that we as NHL fans deserve.
Absolutely, but it's going to be a war, and whoever comes out of it is going to come out of it broken. Tampa Islanders, I think, is going to be a war, and whoever comes out of it is going to come out busted up. Then they got to play each other, and they're just going to kind of limp into the octagon to take on who? No matter what, it's going to be a Western Conference opponent, and that's just so not fun.
True.
So not fun.
Well, and it's so funny because so many of the beasts, or two of the major beasts, went down, and potentially 3 went down. The California teams, I guess with the exception of San Jose. So imagine the Ducks don't win tonight, and then you've got the Ducks, you've got Chicago, and you've got Los Angeles out in the first round.
Unbelievable. You see that guy who he tweeted that he would get a tattoo of Gary Bettman on his butt if
Yep.
Chicago and LA both got eliminated first round?
Oh, and he's got to do it.
He tweeted it months ago, and it's funny because you just see his tweets like every few weeks, like this is bad. And then like a couple days ago, he's just like, so right cheek or left? I would love to see if he does it.
Poor guy. Poor guy. Do you really think, though, that... Like, who comes out of this series? Because your default is to think Capitals on this one. Mostly because they had such an unbelievable season. But it showed in the first round just how cohesive the Pittsburgh unit has become. And it's so funny because if you told us this in December, we'd have been like, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And if you told us this in February, we were talking about it on the show. Like, it was, Philly, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. I mean, we're not sure who's going to make it out of those three. All three ended up making it. But it was a crapshoot. And all of a sudden, Pittsburgh turned it on.
You know what? I told all the Penguins fans, I told them, look out for playoff Phil Kessel. Playoff Phil Kessel is really, really, really fun. And he's fantastic. Now, the one thing I would say, though, is goals for Kessel and goals for the Penguins, likewise, have been oxygen. They need them. It's like an exponential thing. They get one, and one turns into 4 or 5. If they don't get that one, they have a really, really hard time getting it. They fight for it, and they're almost fighting themselves. You can do that against a struggling Henrik Lundqvist / Antti Ranta and get away with it.
/ team that's kind of over the hill.
Team that's kind of over the hill. I kind of feel bad for the Rangers. I think
they're kind of done.
They're agony done. Like, if they make the playoffs next year, would anyone be shocked? No, but it's just this slow decay.
Yeah.
That's going to kind of happen, this Detroit-like decay.
They're starting to lose hair. They're going bald.
A little bit. But Pittsburgh now has to go up against the Holt Beast.
Yes.
Who wasn't even the best goalie in the last series that he played in. And I bet he's not feeling so good about that. I bet he's going to come out in round 2. Absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, now, what about the Pittsburgh's goaltending situation and Alexander Ovechkin against that?
Good luck. Good luck, man. It doesn't matter who's in net. Would it matter if it was Marc-Andre Fleury or Matt Murray? Or everyone's afraid of that shot. Everyone is afraid of that shot.
It would matter a little more if it was your starting goaltender.
It would. I think you definitely prefer it to be Marc-Andre Fleury.
Especially because Marc-Andre Fleury was there the last time these two teams played and has been there basically every time.
Matt Murray looked good.
He did.
Matt Murray looked good. Jeff Zatkoff, I think, was better than a lot of people thought he was going to be. But again, I'm so gun shy because last round I was like, Thomas Greiss. And then he outdueled Luongo. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a war, man. It's going to be the war we all deserve. I hope it goes 7, and I hope 7 is better than the last 7. Do you remember that?
Wasn't the last game like 6-2 or something?
It was, it was 6-2 or 6-1.
Yeah.
And I remember like canceling plans. I'm like, I am watching Game 7 of Pittsburgh-Washington. It's going to be the best hockey game of all time. Utter blowout.
And it's funny, after that one, Washington went through a bit of a 2 or 3 year kind of spin.
And it messed them up. Well, I think
it messed them up for a while.
I want to say the next year they won the President's Trophy, and they got the Habs in the first round, and Halak slammed the door. Remember the Halak year?
Yeah, the Halak year.
The Caps, man, they haven't conquered their demons yet. They
got this far last year. And they were close, and I actually thought they'd get through, and they just couldn't do it.
They should have got through. Every year they should get through. I think if they beat Pittsburgh, well, obviously they'll feel good. Great analysis, Steve. But that'll be a bit of a boogeyman that they conquered. It sucks. Like, you gotta conquer your boogeyman to make it to the Stanley Cup final, but your boogeyman is your inability to make the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
They just got to do it. You just got to play.
You're right. The time they lost to Pittsburgh, the next year they won the President's Trophy and then lost in the first round to the Canadiens.
Because Yaroslav Halak stopped everything. He almost took them to the Stanley Cup final.
Yep.
Before we end this segment, I want to just do a little bit of a shout out. To people of our own kind, the announcers of the world, because Pat Foley, the Chicago Blackhawks, he's their local guy, had quite the rant. And I think he wins MVP announcing of the first round, even though his team is out. And he was a little upset about the fact that the Caps or the Chicago Blackhawks had to start at 9:42. Or was it 8:42?
I think it was 8:42 local time. Which would have made it like 9:42 here.
And he was upset about that. So here's what he had to say.
No, the other way around.
Oh, my bad.
Tremendous series between two great teams here, and it has been compelling theater. The games have been tied or one-goal games 96% of the time so far. But this is the third time in 5 games that a start time of 8:42 local was mandated. I can say with certainty, players cannot stand these late starts. Coaches cannot stand them. Most importantly, the fans can't stand them. So as we approach midnight Eastern again on a work night, a school night, a simple question. An 8:42 puck drop.
And they cut him off. Gonna go to a Honda commercial. Now, guys, that means it's a 9:42 start time in Toronto.
Yes.
And
Which
in
Jesse and
LAC.
I were just debating.
Yes. You guys were like,
It is.
No,
it is.
Yeah. I thought that was great. I thought that was great that they just they just went off. And he makes a good point. They are the Chicago Blackhawks. They are the defending Stanley Cup champions. Why are they taking a back seat in terms of timing?
Well, Adam, if Pat Foley doesn't like it, maybe he should do another job where he can go to bed on time. Shut up, Mike.
Oh, I have that too.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Here's Mike Milbury weighing in on it.
BC 8 Eastern time.
You know what? And if that's too late for certain announcers, I think they should just let somebody else call the game and stay home and get a good night's rest, because 8 o'clock it is. And we do that just so we can get everybody involved and all the games on. Lots of games. We do a good job showing them.
By the way,
Keep quiet.
that's 7 Central.
So
You want people watching or not, Mike? You want people watching or not? It's that simple. Well, and Gary Bettman said no one minds, despite the fact that reporters were like, actually, the players mind a lot, and lots of people complaining on Twitter.
Well, and I don't blame the Chicago Blackhawks for that. I don't blame them at all. I don't blame the fans. They're the team that won the cup last year. I think they and have had now in 7 years, I guess 3 cups in 7 years. It was 3 and 6. I would think that they are deserving of priority.
Forget priority.
And they're Chicago.
Logic.
It's a massive city.
Logic. Who starts at almost 9 o'clock local? Logic. Use your brain. Who this isn't the UFC. Although most of that's in Vegas. But seriously, that's too late. It's way too late. And if you lose the East Coast, who cares about the West? No offense to all the folks out on the West. You just know it to be true.
Yeah. There's more people in the East. Sportsnet 590, The Fan. We are the Steve Dangle podcast. When we come back, our favorite Russian is coming back to the NHL, allegedly. And we'll talk about it.
Allegedly.
This story is an exercise in what the difference between what Russian players tell North American reporters and what Russian players tell Russian reporters is.
And what Russian reporters tell North American reporters, and what North American reporters tell North American readers, which then Russian players read, and then they have to tell Russian reporters what to tell North American reporters. And holy smokes, is he coming or not?
So Alexander Radulov, according to an interview from Russia with Semyon Varlamov, all he has to do to come back is call Patrick Waugh, and Patrick Waugh will make it happen.
Oh, there it is.
Head coach Patrick Waugh will somehow make that happen with Joe Sakic, I'm assuming. They asked Joe about this when this story broke. Joe said, no comment.
Interesting.
And they've got interesting things happening there because in Colorado, they can't spend the cap like a normal team. They have a smaller budget. From what I understand, anyway, I've heard they're kind of budget conscious. Plus, you've got Tyson Barrie and Nathan McKinnon, who are restricted free agents, and you got to figure out what to do with them. And you've got Gabriel Landeskog locked up. You've got Matt Duchene locked up. They might have some issues going into this year.
Can I just say the Avalanche are in some ways like the Oilers. And Oilers fans will be like, thank you? And Avalanche fans, I think, will be insulted. But I think they're a cautionary tale for the Leafs. Always bringing it back to the Leafs. Too bad. I think they're a cautionary tale. Because you can load up with high-end young talent, and they can be incredible players individually. And if you're rebuilding, that's fine. But there is a timer. There is a bit of a TikTok effect going there. And if you don't get good in about 3 or 4 years, if you don't get real good, or I guess in the Avalanche's case, stay real good, in about 3-4 years, now you're kind of screwed. Now you're in a lot of trouble because now you're not good, and all the young, cheap players that were propping you up are now young, expensive players. That's kind of what they're having to deal with.
And then you sign yourself into mediocrity like the Leafs have done.
like the Leafs have done in the past, not in that way, but the Oilers have certainly done it.
Well, I mean, what I'm talking about is like, remember out of the first lockout, the Leafs signed Darcy Tucker and Matt Sundin and Brian McCabe and all these guys to massive deals that lasted 5 or 6 years with no movement clauses, all of them. And for whatever reason, they thought that would be good enough. And so they were stuck with those 5 guys. They called them the Muskoka Five, Caberlet as well. They were stuck with those 5 guys for years and years and years and paid the price and never made the playoffs.
And then you put yourself in the, well, I guess we'll try this position, which is what I think Radulov would be. Now, Elliot Friedman reporting, looking at his Twitter here, some of the teams he thinks are in on Radulov, the Red Wings, the Panthers, and the Capitals. And he said Colorado is considered the favorite. And then he tweeted, just looking for it here, he has reason to believe that the Washington and Colorado reports are not true. Which is weird because
that's weird.
I would have assumed Colorado would be the favorite. Now, Washington, you think about that, and right off the top of your head, you go, that makes sense because Russians. You know, they got Ovechkin, makes sense. Kuznetsov, that makes sense. Dmitry Orlov, that makes sense. Andrei Burakovsky, I'm not actually sure where he's from. I just wanted to say
He just has a long last name.
He's just got a long last name. The head coach is Barry Trotz. You think he wants to deal with that again?
Yeah, because he was the one that, along with the general manager in Nashville, suspended them in the second round of the playoffs.
The second round for missing curfew. In the playoffs!
Kostitsyn, right? Sergei
Kostitsyn and Alex Radulov. It'll be interesting. He's an NHL player. There's no doubt about it. Like, skill-wise, he's an NHL player. But, Mike Babcock always talks about living the right way. I hope he does.
I don't think he does.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
But this would be an amazing opportunity.
What's been interesting, too, is that when Radulov did leave, he signed a contract. I think, 100 million rubles or something like some ridiculous number. But it works out to about, at the time, worked out to about $9.25 million a season.
I think 9.2 million, and I think the answer you're looking for is around 2 billion.
Oh, billion rubles. Okay, there you go. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous but the ruble has fallen so far.
Oh yeah.
In the last 3 years that his $9.5 million American money contract has turned into a $4.5 million American money contract, and it just expired. That's how bad the economy is right now in Russia.
And I don't think it's just the economy, because I'm sure there's teams out there in the KHL willing to pay him more.
Sure.
Even with the ridiculous inflation rate.
Because it doesn't matter about making money in the KHL.
No. I think he would still make more in the KHL than the NHL. I don't know that to be true, but I think so. The problem is not really problem. There's a competitive nature, though. There's a competitive nature to it. Leo Komarov was in the KHL. He was doing just fine. Didn't have to come to the NHL. He ended up making a pretty good payday. But that wasn't known coming out of the gate. The reason he came to the NHL was he won the Gagarin Cup. He had nothing left to prove. He was a world champion. He was a Gagarin Cup champion. I'm going to come to the NHL because that's the next thing to do. Artemi Panarin came for the payday and the awesome opportunity to play with the Blackhawks. But a lot of these guys, they leave the KHL because they have nothing left to prove. Radulov's already won the Gagarin Cup a couple times. He just lost it in the 7th game. Which means Zaitsev, by the way, lost it too. That means he'll come in hungry for the Leafs, am I right?
That's right. Stanley Cup next season.
Absolutely. He's got something left to prove. If he really is as good as he thinks he is, or his money thinks he is, or his agents think he is, or whatever, he's got to come to the NHL and prove it. It's the best league.
Is he a guy that can get you 50 or 60 points?
Oh, totally. Totally. I think so.
Okay. That's big for a lot of teams. The thing is, a lot of teams are freaked out about the personality issue, so that's going to cost him money. And he said money, from what I'm hearing, money is not an issue right now. It's really just about comfort with family.
I wouldn't think so. So now the issue is,
you sign a 1-year deal where? And it's going to be for low.
Well, that's the thing, though. How low? He's not signing somewhere for $1 million.
You can't get him on a Brad Boy $700,000 deal?
Hell no. No way.
So what if He's making 4.5 in the KHL American money standards. About that.
Really?
Yeah, that's what his contract was at 9. And
Let's just say.
So he's making $4.5 million, which is anywhere from bottom of your top 6 to top of your bottom 6.
Stefan Robida.
So
Actually, not quite as much.
What is a Radulov make? Does he make 3? Does he make 4.5? Does he make 5?
No, he definitely doesn't make 5.
So we're agreeing that Radulov is good enough to start a bidding war amongst teams?
I'm sure that's what he's hoping.
No, his skill, I don't think anyone's doubting his skill. I don't think anyone's doubting that.
2 seasons in the NHL.
His NHL totals, and it's a little skewed because most of his NHL numbers are from when he was much younger. In 154 career NHL games, fewer than Andrew Peters, by the way. In 154 career NHL games, 47 goals, 55 assists, 102 points.
That's not bad.
Actually,
it was also 10 years ago.
Yeah, his playoffs numbers, though, 18 games played, 6 goals, 8 assists, 14 points. And that includes his run in 2011-12, in which he was suspended, by the way. 8 games, 1 goal, 5 assists, though, 6 points.
Wow.
And in the regular season there, 9 games, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. He's a good player.
So is he arguably a better player now than when those numbers were taken?
I would say he's at least as good. He's at least as good. In the KHL this past season, he got 65 points in 53 games. It's very hard to get over 60 points in the KHL. It's very hard. He's good enough. You just need to find a number that makes sense, and you got to be sure that his issues are behind him, and if they're not, you got to be sure you can stomach them. There are players in this league where teams go, yep, they're going to give me some trouble. They're going to give me some trouble, but if I manage it, they'll put up this many points. That is how much of a premium talent is at in this league. He's got it, man. He's got it. And
before anybody says the Leafs, no.
I don't think that makes sense for either party.
No, the Leafs may have cap issues anyway because they've taken on a lot of salary recently. However, the Joffrey Lupul thing may change things.
Who knows? Who knows?
That said, he wants to go to a winning team. So of the winning teams, Who doesn't? Yes. Okay. So here's a thought. If you go to Detroit super cheap for the first year, right? You sign a 1-year contract. Datsuk is leaving.
Does that make Datsuk stay?
I was just gonna say that, Jesse. Maybe he doesn't. They played on Red Army together during the lockout.
Now Datsuk is going home because of his daughter, so I don't think that makes him stay. He wants to be closer to his daughter. I just don't think that his friend coming to the NHL would keep him in Detroit. But if I'm Ken Holland and I want to replace those points, and I've got a pretty good culture, from what I understand, Detroit's culture is still a pretty good dressing room culture.
Ken Holland seemed pretty pissed.
Well, he doesn't like to lose, but it doesn't mean that the culture is broken, right? You've still got Zetterberg there, and maybe Datsuk staying would be great, but think about what that does. I mean, that props Detroit right back up again.
I'm looking at Radulov right now. He finished second in the KHL in scoring this year. Last year.
Who won it, by the way?
Sergei Moisakin. And there's another guy who I don't understand why he hasn't made the jump to the NHL. He was like a 8th round pick of the Blue Jackets, and every year he's top 5 in KHL scoring. Last year, Radulov won the scoring title in the KHL. Sergei Moisakin won it the year before that. God, whoever gets him is going to get a good player, but you just got to be sure. You just got to be sure. Now, I wonder if things would have worked out better in Nashville last time around if he was there the whole season. It wasn't just I just got here.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
So he wasn't really invested in the team the way that other players would have been, right?
If he puts down roots a little bit, I'm in this for the long haul, I wonder if you get a different guy. I wonder if you get a different player. Which is kind of why I wonder, for as much as we make fun of him, I wonder if he'd be best under Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh knows how to handle this guy, clearly.
He does?
From his days in the QMJHL.
Oh. Well, yeah. I mean, and Patrick Waugh, it's so funny. Sometimes it takes fiery people to handle fiery people. Mm-hmm. Like you need a guy who is just as cantankerous as a coach to I guess, mute the guy who's a little bit rebellious as the player. You know what I mean? Because the guy who's the coach is saying, you're not pulling anything on me, right?
I'm
I've
just
been there.
as crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just as crazy. Exactly. So I think it'll be very interesting to watch and see where that goes. That will be interesting.
Now, if I can just throw a little water on the fire that I've created, okay? So this year in the KHL, regular season, points leader, Sergei Moisakin, 67 points. 67, boo. Second place, Alex Radulov, 65 points. Third place, Brandon Bochenski.
Whoa, I remember that name. Why do I know that name?
I think he played for the Avalanche. He was like the next big thing for a while, and until he was not. Fourth place, Vadim Shipachov. I don't know if he ever played in the NHL. Fifth place, Oilers cast-off Linus Omark.
Linus Omark's playing the KHL now?
You bet. You want to know who?
Damn, I thought he was still pretty young.
Want to know who the top scoring defenseman was in the AHL or KHL? Sorry.
Yes, I do.
By the way, the top 4 scoring defensemen in the KHL, all North American, with 40 points, 9 goals, 31 assists in 55 games. Former 3rd overall pick, Cam Barker.
Aw.
Wow.
Cam Barker.
Now,
Kevin Dahlman was tied with him.
do NHL
He's always up there.
Do NHL teams look at the top 10 and go, we should rate their top 10?
I kind of think they should, like just for cheap.
Like, why wouldn't anyone, unless Moisakin doesn't want to leave the KHL, which isn't, it sounds like it's impossible.
I would. It's got to be.
It's got to be that he doesn't want to go.
He was part of the best line in hockey during the lockout, in my opinion. Well, okay, there was 2. It was Komarov with Nicholas Backstrom and Alex Ovechkin.
Which is crazy.
Crazy. And then there was Kuhlman with Malkin and Moisakin. It was a great line, man. It was a great line.
What would an NHL player, what would a KHL player have to gain from staying in Russia? Is it a comfort? Is it a home thing? Is it a, like, yeah, you know what? I enjoy it here. Like, I got a good life.
You know, I think
Not that Russia's bad. I'm not trying to say that.
No, but I think I remember reading an interview with Sergei Kostitsyn. And he was talking about he didn't like the lifestyle in Nashville. Didn't like the lifestyle. Didn't kind of like the American Midwest, whatever. The team he ended up playing for is Avangard Omsk. Omsk is in Siberia! But home is where the heart is. You know? He likes it there. What are you going to do? Travis Hamonic is on a great team with the New York Islanders. It's a team that is budding, you could argue. They're in the second round of the playoffs right now. Before the season began, he requested a trade to Western Canada. Is there a worse place to play hockey right now? But he wants to go there. That's where he wants to go. You know why? It's home. That's where he wants to be. Is what it is, man. It happens here, happens in the KHL, happens all over the place.
I don't know. Top player in the KHL, and he can't get a big fat contract from the NHL?
Hey,
like at least a couple years?
You're playing sports for a living. You're good at it. You're having a good time. You're making a lot of money. I've asked this question on the podcast before. How much is enough? How much is enough? Like if someone offered me $4 million a year to do something, and then someone was like, okay, Steve, I'll give you $7 million to do something you don't like as much. And you won't be as happy. What? You know how much money $4 million is? I'll take the $4 million gig. I come from peasant roots, Adam Wild. I come from peasant roots.
Okay.
Is that the reason Steve's not in the NHL?
Yeah.
that is, by the way, the sole reason. It has nothing to do with fitness,
no,
skating ability.
Talent, yeah, no. But I'm going to argue this one. I'm just going to play devil's advocate. Okay, so that $7 million offer happens to come from a place where the average temperature is 30 degrees higher every single day of the year than the place that you grew up.
What if I like the cold?
Who likes the cold? Is there anybody that likes the cold? Like legitimately, you're like, yes, the cold.
Some goofy
Please
people,
give me the cold.
Adam, some goofy people. They like the cold, man. Some people can deal with it better. Why doesn't everyone from the UK just move to Florida? Like,
Or
why
Spain,
not? It
or
rains
Spain.
there all the time, and in Florida it's nice and sunny. Like, why not? They like it there. A lot of people like it there. And if they don't like it there, they move.
Right,
And
and
they
I guess
marry hockey
what did
bloggers.
Leo Komarov say? He loved Finland or he loved Winnipeg because it reminded him of Finland.
Yeah, and no offense, no one loves Winnipeg. But it reminds him of Finland. It reminds him of home.
I don't think if anybody offered a KHL player $3 million more than what they're making, they would turn it down.
It's $3 million, man.
It's $3 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
I don't think anybody's going to guys and being like, hey, raise your salary $3 million. And they're saying, no, I'm not coming to the NHL. I don't think anybody's doing that.
$3 million is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But like, what about $1 million? What about $1 million? And I'm already a millionaire.
I don't think anybody's offering $1 million because it wouldn't.
No. Like I'm saying, I make $4 in the KHL, and I
then
could come to North America and make $5.
I don't think anybody's offering that. I don't think anybody's saying, hey, I'll pay you $1 million. If they're going to try and lure you here, they're going to offer $3 million more, and somebody's going to say yes.
If you're happy.
Yeah.
But I wonder what's happened with Moisakin. Like, that is an interesting question. Why has he not? I'm sure he's had offers. How could he not have had offers, right? That has to be the case. I'm sure the Russian reporters that listen to this show, and there are several, could probably tell us, and I would love to know that answer.
Yeah. Collins, I need you on this one. My Latvian friend.
Also, I think maybe we should mention, can we mention that Conor McGregor is back for UFC 200?
Yeah, but not in that fight.
So what's the deal? Can you explain that one to me? How's it all work?
Dana White is a bag of rocks is the deal. Like, how are you going to have them both fight at UFC 200 and not each other? Who's Conor McGregor going to fight? Who's he going to fight? You already got Aldo and what's his face? Frankie Edgar. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop it!
It makes no sense.
You can make UFC 200 the best card in the history of the sport. What are you doing? What are you doing? Imagine if at UFC 200 we got McGregor, Diaz, and Jones Cormier.
It's probably going to happen.
Isn't there also
but
isn't
there's
Tate
no
fighting someone?
No. I'll bring it up.
Look it up. Yeah.
There's no way that Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz fight in this.
They'll do it. They're going to end up doing it. They're just teasing us. They got to be.
What are the chances this entire thing was a ploy?
Great.
Yeah.
Amazing. Incredible.
Because here's what it did. It helped the UFC's image, it helped Conor McGregor's image, and it generated interest in the sport. I don't see where there could have been a bad thing here.
And
Tate's fighting Nunez.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So whether he's in on it or not, Diaz means what he says. And when he says, I only want to fight McGregor, I believe him. And that's what he deserves. I don't think he needs the money. I don't think he needs to get punched in the face. He wants Conor McGregor. That's who he wants. He wants the payday. Give it to him. Give it to the fans. Driving me nuts with this garbage.
We got to go on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, but in the download portion of this podcast, which you can get at sportsnet.ca or in iTunes, we have some Reddit things to address. Some big, scary Reddit things to address. Plus, a new sandwich debate. Remember, hot dog is a sandwich? We've got a new one for you. Yeah, you're missing out if you're not downloading.
Ooh, Adam. Jesse just pointed me to a tweet right before we go.
What?
From Nate Diaz. Happy to announce that I'm going on vacation. # gone. # 100. Peace symbol.
Whoa.
It's Nate Diaz, man. I'm not surprised, Nate Diaz.
Hey, remember last year when the Leafs made a nondescript trade with the Florida Panthers?
I just saw that, Adam.
Do you want to read it out? This is great.
Ouch. No disrespect, but what a trade this turned out to be. And it's Greg McKegg on waivers for the Florida Panthers. That's a bummer.
Yeah, what did...
Well, I think they got to put him on waivers in order to send him down.
Right.
And I assume Florida's farm team is still in the Calder Cup playoffs. I actually forget who their farm team is because it switched a bunch of times recently.
Okay.
I want to say Rochester, or at least that's who it was at last time I checked.
But let's think about this just for a second here.
You should probably know that. But
Who did we get for Greg McKegg?
Well, I'm a young whippersnapper. Well, first the Leafs also had to give up a conditional 7th. Devastating. But the guy they got in return, Zach Hyman, who is undoubtedly, barring injury, going to make the Leafs out of camp next year. Sheldon Keefe cannot shut up about this guy. Babcock loves him. The Leafs organization loves Zach Hyman. They are so in love with this guy. But you know what? Zach Hyman didn't just play in the NHL playoffs.
Oh, no?
So I'll give that to Florida. I won Mr. McKegg.
Did McKegg? Okay.
Well. Yeah,
Well.
Although Zach Hyman's Toronto Marlies are up 2-0 on the Bridgeport Sound Tigers.
That, friends, is great asset management. Sorry, 2-0?
2-0. They won both games on the road, and now Game 3 is on Thursday in Tirana.
In Tirana.
It's the Portland Pirates, by the way.
Portland Pirates. Oh, you know what? I knew that. Oh, wait, we saw them.
Yes, we did.
And we saw Greg McKegg.
Yes. Oh, man.
Oh,
Great
wow.
job.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I wanted to, we got to mention a couple house cleaning things. First off, skatetogreat.org, as we always do.
Oh, goodness.
We must mention them. They're fantastic. Skatetogreat.org, over 100 donation centers across the country. Please drop off all your used and abused hockey equipment. They'll take it. They'll take it.
And they will fix it.
Mostly skates. The other thing I want to mention is the CWHL's Pave the Way.
What?
Now, I am the only one on this show responsible enough to have set up my donation page for the Clarkson Cupcakes.
I, to be fair, just got the email last night because
it was sent to.
forgot the J in
It
my
was
name.
sent to Essie Blake, not Jesse
Oh,
Blake.
wow.
That's true. Steve and I have had this for weeks.
So don't group me with Steve.
But we have a team called the Clarkson Cupcakes, named by one Sasky Stewart. We will be playing against CWHL players.
Oh, wait,
in
really?
ball hockey tournaments. Yes, it says in the email that Sasky sent us that Natalie Spooner has a team and she'll be playing.
Well, we are going to get Natalie smoked.
So we're trying to get a CWHL All-Star on our team as well. There's a chance that happens.
Can we get an NHL All-Star?
I'm going to go with dibs on MPP.
Well, I don't think Marie
MPP,
Philippe...
the MVP, Marie Philippe Poulin.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what
Dibs
happens.
on Andrew Peters.
Well, we do need a sheriff, right?
Yeah.
We do need a sheriff. So the idea here is that we're going to raise money for the CWHL, which is, yes, professional hockey, but also a nonprofit organization. Yes. And the reason that we're doing this is because we are committed on the show to growing the women's side of the game. We always have been, always will be. And quite frankly, I mean, there are challenges to starting a league, a professional league in this era. It's not easy to do.
And doing it the right way. CWHL, for the most part, is stuck to their guns. Even in the midst of the NWHL, just being like, what up? We're here now.
Yeah.
They've made some big leaps and bounds. And I hope for continued success, continued growth.
We were at their All-Star game this year, and it's amazing hockey. So if you're just a hockey fan, it's great.
Remember when we were both like, dude, who was that flying out there? Who was that young? That's probably like a youngster.
Mm-hmm.
It was Haley Wickenheiser.
Yeah.
Holy
Who's still
smokes.
playing and still kicking ass.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Still. So good.
So here's the deal. One of the stats that stuck out to me in Sasky's email, and one of the things that I really noticed at the game was, first off, if I'm ever the father of little girls, I will encourage them to play sports. But one of the stats that killed me that I read was that women and young women between the ages of 13 and 17, 41% of them stop playing because there's nowhere to take it. Because there is no professional game. There's nobody for them to look up to. And if you look outside of women's professionals, soccer, which, really is just the FIFA tournament, every 4 years and that sort of thing. You have some stars come out of that.
There's a WNBA.
The tennis, golf. But other than that, we are really lacking when it comes to basketball, when it comes to hockey. I know the
everything,
WNBA.
basically.
Yeah. So, I think it's time that we got behind something that changes that. This does that. I have a donation page set up. Steve will. Jesse will as well. I'm not sure when, but eventually they will. And we're trying to raise as a team $5,000. I set my personal goal at $500 to see how that went. I posted my donation page last night. I think I'm at $490. So that was amazing.
So you're not even there yet.
No. But that
what
was,
are you bragging about?
That was 12 hours ago,
Why are you
guys.
letting everybody down?
That was
Talk about
amazing.
Why are you letting everybody down?
So I'm hoping that maybe you can help us out with the donations and obviously just go to my Instagram account. It's actually right in my Instagram bio, just at Adam Wild on Instagram.
I think maybe before I leave today, my friend Adam might help me set up my page.
It's really not that hard.
Yeah, but like maybe it could be even less hard.
Or maybe the instructions are in Sasky's email if you bothered to read it.
Don't make me read.
Here's the great thing.
Don't make me read.
Here's what I want you to do too. Make sure that you tweet this part of the show to Sasky just so she knows how thoroughly Steve reads her emails.
Oh, very.
Because
well, here, wait.
Is it even open?
I got her.
Did you open it? Did you even open it?
No, I opened it, and I knew I was in trouble. Because what did she?
Because there's a paragraph or two.
Yeah.
Oh no! The one I read, there was no paragraph.
Didn't even open the right email.
Okay.
What does it say?
The email has. The subject is hi, period. The contents of the email, not so gentle nudge.
Oh yeah, no. But did you read the one before that? The one where she asked us to be on the team and be a part of it?
Hello, Cupcake Crew?
Yeah, that's us.
Are
We're
you
the
opening
Cupcake
that
Crew.
for the first time?
I mean,
He opened that for the first time. So, Sasky, just so you know, your email is read. Uncle Adam's taking care of it.
I mean,
That's why they call me Dadam.
I'm gonna be there
You will be there?
May 15th.
We got a
Ontario
race
Place.
with cupcakes on.
Yep. May 15th, Ontario Place. That's important
It's
too.
a Sunday.
And that weekend's going to be a little bit bananas because the Gardener's closed. So,
Isn't that where we're playing? On the Gardner? Isn't that why they closed it?
no,
We get
Ontario
a whole
Place is
lane?
not the Gardener.
We get a whole lane for ourselves
no, it's
to play
construction.
hockey?
It's
I
fun.
paused for a brief moment. I was like, "That's sick."
That'd be
I
cool.
thought you were.
No. They saved that
being
for
Jesse for a
charity
sec.
rides. So this one, this will be at Ontario Place. It's going to be lots of fun. If you can be there, that would be great. And again, look for our donation URLs to come out. $10 helps. If you can spare $10.
We got Jeff on our
Jeff
team?
Vallette, sorry,
Yes.
Vallette is coming out, and I believe we're still working on some new teammates as well.
That's sick. I can run. That's about it. But once I get the ball, I'm kind of useless.
Jeff actually messaged me on Twitter last night, and he's like, "I'm just going to try to be the guy that doesn't hold you guys back." I'm like, "What? Hey man, you played road hockey in the last decade, man.
Excuse me.
You put that's going to be me. I'm going to be terrible. I'm sorry."
That's Jeff's like Ron Burgundy, like, oh my God, I don't even play any instruments. And then he pulls the jazz flute out of his sleeve. I'm not even prepared. I'm not even. And then he's like the sickest one out there. Dude, he was sick when he was Big Jeff. And then he cut himself in half and was half Jeff. And then he had all the hands of Big Jeff, but with the mobility of half Jeff. And he was just destroying worlds.
So he became Dangerous Jeff.
He became Jeff.
Jane Jeff. No. All right. Another thing I want to bring up is there's a hockey Reddit thread that it says Gary Bettman on Barclays. My understanding is there are 15,000 good seats in Barclays. Whatever the number that are obstructed, that's irrelevant. And by the way, for anybody wondering, the two Tavares goals that ended the series were on the non-obstructed side of the ice. Oh. Just thought I'd throw that out there. If they were on the obstructed side of the ice, you can bet that this would be a bigger issue. So here's that's what Gary Bettman said. 15,000 people can see it, and a few people can't. That's irrelevant. They're irrelevant. And by the way, buying tickets means that you are irrelevant. It matters not how your experience is, because that's what he is saying.
You know what's irrelevant to me? Okay, because I think the line is still blurred with me between media and fan. I think I still side more with the fan side of it all. You know what's irrelevant? Anything Gary Bettman says. Like, I would love to just, like, go out and get bombed with that dude and have the first genuine conversation of his entire human life. Like, has he said anything you thought was genuine ever once?
Well, he's
No one says that other than an automaton. What non-robotic human thinks that way?
I don't know.
What non?
Because he's thinking money. He's thinking money way.
Terminator cyborg. No. I don't. No, I'm giving him the credit that no human being thinks that way. No human being actually thinks that stupidly. No human being says that. No
He's
human
thinking
being
purely
says
money.
no one cares about the friggin' start time of the Chicago game. He doesn't believe any of the things he says. It's like I said, Adam, before. He's the dartboard. Here, throw it over here. Throw it over here. I would love to just have that guy just speak his mind. Wouldn't it be so sick to just be like, Gary, here, look, and just throw your phone in a pot of boiling water and be like, look, check me for wires, nothing on me. I'm not going to repeat any of this. Let's just talk. Let's just have a genuine conversation. Wouldn't it be amazing? Like 10 minutes, just see what you get out of him.
I would love to know.
And you'll never share it with anyone. You just know it.
Love to know.
I don't think I don't care what he has to say because I don't believe any of it. The only reason it's valid at all is because I get to go, wow, he said that. Not wow, he means that. Just wow, he said that.
Is Gary Benton married?
I don't know. I don't know. I would have to know something about him and his actual.
I don't know anything about him. No,
Yeah.
I couldn't even.
Isn't that good though?
No,
that
I
what
won't
you
fault him
want?
for that.
Yeah.
I won't fault him for that. Like some
Brilliant
people
that
want
way.
their privacy.
Steve
but,
said it many times. He does a great job for the owners.
Yeah.
He does a great job, and it's amazing to see what money can buy. The money can buy you never actually saying anything ever.
Yep. Now,
Money can just make you the town crier. He's the town crier for the NHL.
the best
So
part.
it's amazing. All those years in school and all the time invested in his career, and he's the town crier.
Yeah.
God,
But he
what a
makes
shame.
$8 million a year.
What a shame.
Good for him.
Yeah, no, good for him.
The best part about this,
What can money buy? There's your answer.
Stephen, for the third time, the best part about this.
Sorry, I'm just so annoyed. Just so
I
annoyed.
know you're mad, but I'm going to make you happy.
If you want obstructed seats, well, I mean, fuck you. Just kind of shove it up your ass and fuck you. Here's a scarf.
Well, it's funny that you say that because the first comment on that thread was, shut up, here's a scarf, go Nets.
That coming in from user Gary B.
And then the next reference, or the next one was, nice reference, you POS. And then the next comment, he knows more about the Barclays Center than anyone else. As in Mark Madden.
Oh, there you go. That took me a second.
And then it said, where is this guy's Hockey DB page? On his blog.
What Reddit is this on? What subreddit?
Remember
Bar
when,
hockey.
and then
Wow, eh?
remember when Larry Roberts bunted in 1961? and then in bold and caps, the end of the obstructed era in Brooklyn. And then the next comment, can I borrow someone's printer? 1 sec, I'll upload my mortgage papers. The next comment, I dropped my keys on Lakeshore. The next comment, okay guys, we have a serious problem here. I've only seen one review for this deck cleaning service. The next comment, while your deck is getting cleaned, can I borrow your Metro Pass for like a few hours tops? The next comment, may God help them all. And the next comment, is that God's job? It just keeps going and
Holy
going
shit.
and going. This is a hockey Reddit thread that is all SDP listeners. It just,
Well done.
it's just, literally the next one, it is over. And it's like, it keeps going and going. I was blown away. See, now, do you not feel happier?
Oh, I feel so much happier.
You're not irrelevant. You're not irrelevant.
It's great to hear something from people who are not just empty husks. Like, it's so great.
Non-town criers?
Non-town criers. They're Reddit criers. There you go. They're having fun. They're having fun. I like it. Isn't that what this is all about?
See, I love
You know what? They probably sent all those comments from the obstructed seating in Barclays Center because there's nothing else to do because they can't fucking see.
Well, and they actually made reference to that. They're like, I don't understand the problem. And this was something we talked about on the podcast. Why don't they just watch the game on their phone when it enters the part of the ice you can't see?
Oh my God, is that a reference too?
That's a reference. And then,
That's a good
and
one.
then Jesse came in with this one, and I don't know if this person knows that it's an STP reference, but Jesse told us this.
Not me.
Local games... at the time on the podcast.
Oh, in real
local
life.
games are blocked out on Game Center, so you can't.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's just... It was like, wow!
But once again,
this thread is amazing!
But once again, if I can finish, fuck you. Fuck you. Sorry. Let me ask you a question. You want to watch the game?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you. I know you're in the arena.
And then you paid money.
Yeah, but gotta go fuck yourself. A little bit.
What's
Go
the line?
fuck
What's the
yourself.
line?
Fuck you. Oh, shut up. Here's the scarf. Fuck you. I think is what it is.
I believe it's Go Nets, but hey, that works.
Go Nets. Whatever. They're NBA.
You forgot your own line?
No, Adam, I knew.
Oh, okay.
But I was fucking method acting, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm getting into character.
I'm sorry. You know what was funny the first time we talked about this? Is that I was the one who was upset by it, and you were the one who was making fun of it. And now... the roles are reversed. You're mad, and I'm like, but there's this great thing that came out of it.
No, that's hilarious. You know what? I've been grumpy lately, but also I would love to hear him I would love to have a genuine opinion from him on anything. Anything. I wasn't a huge fan of Kanye's new album. Like, what? That's so weird.
That you listen to
first
it.
of all, Jesse wants to fight you.
Is
Second
Gary
of all,
Bettman Becky with the nice hair? That's what I would like to know. Right? Am I right? Did we get that?
I was reading all about that yesterday.
Okay, good.
It was all the rave of the internet. But, 2.5 Men is pretty overrated. Like,
I would have to agree with Gary Bettman on that.
Oh, my goodness.
It is overrated, sir.
This weather's bullshit. What? Do you think he swears?
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's a New Yorker.
I can't wait till Gary Bettman retires. At that point, he's going to have to come on our show.
No, I think he'd go into hiding.
No, you write a book with the cover of the book is you wearing a polar fleece, and you tell stories that reveal absolutely nothing. Nothing.
I don't think you hear a peep out of him.
You might get a couple interesting, like, during the lockout, this player said a nasty thing to me during negotiations. You might get a couple, here you go. But for the most part, you get nothing from this book. Thanks for the money. Fuck you.
Go Nets.
Kind of fuck you. Go Nets. But bigger Nets, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm just so, it's just weird. I've started to think more and more about, like, what is news? Like, what are quotes and what is news? I don't think they're the same.
They're not.
I don't think one is necessarily the other. Quotes from him are not news. Information is news. He never gives me information. He just kind of...
Unless there's a rule change.
It might as well be binary ones and zeros. I don't know. I'm just so fed up. I'm so fed up. How long has he been in charge? A quarter century? Holy fuck.
1993.
I'm just... Don't you want to be free of this? Don't you?
I would like to have a commissioner like Adam Silver.
Fuck yes!
Because Adam Silver is a guy that you could stand behind, at least right now. He's a guy that stands up for social causes.
It's the one league that has fans going, damn, I think I like the commissioner.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the complete opposite? Dana White. He's the opposite Gary Bettman.
Now
there's too many opinions.
There's fuck you.
But Dana White is smart because I think Dana White has the same approach as Gary Bettman, as in his opinions mean nothing, but Dana White's doing it to promote the sport. Dana White does that because Dana White's a UFC personality, and he's the guy. Truly, before I knew any of the fighters in UFC, I knew who Dana White was. And that is Dana White's job. He is a promoter as much as he is the guy that runs the sport. And that's where it differs. I think after Dana White retires, then the UFC commissioner will be a little bit more like a Gary Bettman. And I think Dana White says the things, and I don't mean to say that what he says doesn't matter. He smokescreens things. He says things that he knows will start fires because that's what you're supposed to do when you're a promoter.
A more accurate comparison, I think, would be Mark Cuban. Because Dana White is actually the owner. He's actually the owner, whereas Bettman, he doesn't own shit. He's the dartboard. He's the dartboard for 30 or some odd men.
Did you see Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook in their press conference?
Did I not tell you about that article? Look it up. God, I can't remember who wrote it, but it was basically one day the Oklahoma City Thunder were just like, fuck the media. Fuck them all. We don't care. And they all just like had a revolt and they like barely talked to them. You got to look it up. And it's basically a reporter going, working through it, trying to figure out when it happened, when it all went wrong. And he can't really find it.
Really?
Yeah. But it's Kevin Durant has had a few quotes like that over the last 2 years. Or he's just like, so-and-so's an idiot. I mean, I know he was talking about a coach there.
He's talking about Cuban.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he's talking about Cuban there. But did you see the other one where like mid-sentence, he just goes, reporters like, you guys are fucking assholes to Kobe. And you have been your whole career.
Yeah, I remember that quote.
Remember that?
Yeah. And he's like, now you're honoring him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
Here's the
I kind of
best.
like it.
And for anybody that hasn't heard it, I want you to hear it. So here it is.
Were you aware of Mark Cuban's comments before the game when he said Kevin was the only superstar on this team? And
by the way, it's Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant sitting at the table after the game.
And how do you react to that?
Hold up. He's an idiot.
This is Kevin Durant.
Don't listen to this. He's an idiot. All right, that's what we got to say about that. He's an idiot. Next question.
I want to know who the reporter is going Twitter gold.
Let me tweet this first.
My favorite thing here is they torched Charlie Villanueva, former Raptor, here too.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Charlie Villanueva came out and sort of lingered behind you for a second. Did you know he was back there, and did he say anything, or what was going through your mind?
He said a lot.
He's
he was
an
there,
idiot too.
but now he get to go home and do whatever he need to do. Get ready for next year to sit down and watch 82 more games like he did this year.
Might not even be in the league.
Shoot!
With
Love
this
it.
Caillou looking face.
Hey! That is a Raptors draft pick. He drives a Dodge Stratus.
I can do 20 push-ups. I'm a man.
I'm 40. I can do 20. No, what is it? I can do 100 push-ups in 20 minutes. Yeah.
Gentlemen, I have a question. Do we want to reignite the sandwich debate? Because I have a question.
Let's do it.
That will reignite the sandwich debate and will, I think, maybe cause a heated divide once again between our family, the listeners, ourselves, so many issues.
More heated than Strowman was last night?
More heated than Strowman was last night after Brett Cecil blew his fourth game. It has to do with the entire sandwich, the entire sandwich argument. If, Jesse, if you say that this is a sandwich,
Okay.
then it blows hot dog as a sandwich out of the water. So you got to be very careful here.
I completely disagree. Those
Because
two things are separate.
and this comes from Martin Brown, a listener from Halifax, because this is a game changer. So in a restaurant, especially a pub, you can go to a pub, a pub. You can go to the pub, and you can get meat on a sandwich, right? Meat on bread, right? Let's say it's onion. Let's say it's some beef. Let's say
a beef dip.
Yeah, a beef dip. Let's say though, there's no top piece of bread. It is an open-faced sandwich covered in gravy.
What?
Is it still, in fact, a sandwich?
Well, what do you call it if it isn't?
Just like eating a cracker.
Just a bunch of shit?
Well, it's not. Have you ever had an open-faced sandwich?
No,
They're delicious.
You're eating a cracker.
But is it? No. I mean, there's a big, thick piece of bread underneath it, and then there's stuff on top of it, and it's a heaping mound. Is an open-faced sandwich still a sandwich?
No.
Okay, now fold it.
Then you're turning it into a sandwich.
So it just magically becomes
is a
one.
pizza a sandwich?
No, if you fold it, I guess it is.
That's a panzerotti.
You made it into a sandwich.
That's a panzerotti.
No, Adam, it's a fucking sandwich. Jesse just told me. Jesse just told me it's a sandwich. You fold anything. You fold anything. Hey, look at this lid. Look what I'm doing with this lid. Oh, shit, now it's a sandwich.
That's Tupperware, sir.
I just ruined Adam's Tupperware.
It's okay. It's Tupperware. It'll survive.
Anyone got a piece of paper? Look at that. Look at that. It's a sandwich now.
No,
look at that.
this thing you're talking about.
If I put
an open-faced sandwich,
if I put a piece of cheese in this,
okay.
folded,
The fact that Jesse has never had a good open-faced sandwich, you've been robbed, sir.
You are taking a piece of bread and putting stuff on it and eating it like a piece of bread.
But you do it with a knife and fork normally.
Which is essentially eating something like a cracker, just putting stuff on a cracker. So it's not a sandwich.
What if I put? What if
it's bread?
What if it's cracker, cheese, cracker? Is that now a cheese cracker sandwich?
Yes, like Lunchables.
What are you talking about?
It's like Lunchables.
What are you talking about?
No, but because you can't have something open and just eat it like this
Now,
and say it's a sandwich.
Is an Oreo a sandwich?
Yeah, it's a little cookie sandwich.
You're fucked.
Now let's talk about tacos for a minute, because this matters, because
a wrap,
a taco
is a taco a hot dog.
A taco is a taco, right? Ceviche though is like an open-faced sandwich of the taco family. Ceviche is the hard circular stuff that has stuff on top of it, but it is not an actual taco. It's a ceviche.
So it's like bruschetta.
So I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
bruschetta.
Bruschetta is delicious.
Bruschetta is no bruschetta.
That's what I have to say.
All I know.
I'm just saying, is it an open-faced sandwich? Jesse, yes or no? Is that a sandwich?
No.
Not a sandwich.
No.
Steve, is it a sandwich?
Unless you want to qualify, you want to make sandwich brackets and be like, yeah, this is an open-faced sandwich. This is a pizza sandwich. This is a cracker sandwich. This is a cookies. No. Either it's a sandwich or
is an ice cream sandwich a sandwich?
What did you call it?
Motherfucker.
There you go. You said it.
Wow.
Is a seahorse a horse?
You said it.
God God damn it, Jesse! I am so sick of this shit! No, it is fucking not! It's a goddamn seahorse. It has nothing to do with a horse. It's just a weird, fishy thing.
That's a horse.
It looks nothing. No, it kind of looks like a horse, but it's a fish that males give birth. That's the only thing that's interesting about them. They're not a horse.
Is chicken of the sea tuna chicken?
You've confused me.
What did you call it, Adam? What did you call
chicken of
well,
the sea.
fucking chicken. So, which
It's
means
a
if
brand,
you have a fish allergy, don't worry, fam.
see, that's
it's
a
chicken.
brand.
Jesse said it. He said
That's
it's
a
chicken.
brand.
Just fuck it. It's fine. You're good.
No. You can't just say, oh, this thing has only one side and it's a sandwich. No. You gotta have two sides to it. It's one piece of bread. How is it a
Hot dogs.
sandwich?
It's one piece of bread. It's one piece of bread.
But it's two because they're folded on top of each other. And then you put the meat inside. You're not putting you can't put anything inside of one thing that has only one side.
I quit.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah.
You can't put anything inside that only has one side. So it can't be a sandwich. Thank you.
Is a Big Mac 2 sandwiches?
Okay, here's a question.
No, it's one big one.
But it's got layers.
So?
The thing that makes a sandwich
That
a
might be
sandwich
a cake
is
then.
having is a cake and sandwich. Is a cake and icing sandwich.
And icing.
Well, it
is not.
It would have to be, right?
It
would
is
have
not.
to
It
be.
is.
No.
We're eating my birthday cake right now. There
Yeah.
are layers.
A cupcake is an open-faced cake sandwich. And a cake is just a cake sandwich.
That's just too. That's ridiculous, dude. Let's not play in that world.
If you have a seahorse-shaped cake,
Covered in tuna.
Cake sandwich.
Covered in tuna. Is it chicken? Hey, are we doing What's Up in Liberty Village today?
We are not.
We're not. Okay,
we do have something from sort of in-game promotions, more of promotions that really make no sense.
all right.
The New Jersey Devils have decided to play Will It Bounce. What does Will It Bounce mean?
it's weird that they're planning their in-game promotions this many months ahead.
Will it bounce?
Yeah.
So they're going to throw random stuff at the ice and see if it'll bounce?
What's your guess?
That's what I'm assuming.
I think, no, it's the off-season, so they're bored. They're going to huck stuff off of some kind of roof and see if it bounces in like the company parking lot where they have all their cup parades.
Wonder if the Leafs could lend their toaster.
The New Jersey Devils have gone to the top of the Prudential Center
Wow!
and thrown things
Dangle,
off
everybody.
of the roof because why not?
That's really weird.
The New Jersey
By the
Devil
way,
throws some mustard, he
is-
throws some Windex, and he throws some flour.
By the way, that is so bizarre that less than 1,000 people liked that on Instagram.
Well, there's a reason people didn't really like it.
Because it's pointless.
It's very pointless.
They literally just took things they had around the office still because it was cleaned out because there's nothing happening there right now. Mm-hmm. And then no bounce. Yeah, weird.
like,
the
no.
Windex didn't
No,
bounce.
they sat the mascot down and said, listen, we're paying you till the end of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You better come up with some GD content, okay? Some gosh darn content. Otherwise, you're fired. That's what happened.
No, I think what
And-
happened was they were all sitting there, got bombed.
No, and
had
the owner
had a rant about Gary Bettman,
And the
but
Devils-
he wasn't there. So
the Devils owner landed his helicopter on multiple games, on multiple soccer
Hot
games.
Wheels heater kicks down the door and goes, "All right, let's throw stuff into Lake Eugene." And they're like, "That's hours away." He's like, "All right, let's throw stuff off the roof." And that's what they did.
You think so, huh?
Just threw Windex. Like you could have got like a watermelon would have been really interesting, like a heavy medicine ball or something.
Maybe something hockey related.
Maybe a puck.
I just don't get it.
Ilya Kovalchuk's contract.
That would have been funny.
That would have been funny.
Wow.
See, this
a
is the
bobblehead of the devil.
This is the fun of
Hey,
NHL
or an old
Instagram.
Eric Lindros bobblehead, just to rub it in.
If the devil could throw off his devil trident, accidentally stab someone at the bottom, they run off. It's the end of the video. A little comedy in there, a little dark comedy.
Well, see, this is why you're the master of the video content online.
I'm just a really good producer.
Should we do the press conference then?
Yes, unless you want to do presents from listeners first.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Hey, so we got presents from listeners.
We did.
Yeah.
New
And
segment.
I want to first read the card to you.
Should I cover my eyes?
No, you don't need to cover your eyes.
I don't think I
because
deserve a present.
We're actually
going to
open this all together. So just give me a sec here. I'm gonna open this. If you guys don't mind stretching for time, that'd be fabulous. All right.
There's a bone to pick with you on Reddit.
Oh, I bet
wait, is
there
this a press conference thing?
It's not really.
No, I bet it's really concise.
Yeah, we can do it after. I'm just warning you.
Okay.
That someone is coming for your neck.
Oh.
All right, no touching your presents. No touching your presents.
I'm not gonna.
No touching your presents. No touching your presents. No touching your
I'm not a child.
All right, Jesse.
I just act like one.
No touch. No touch. Okay, are you ready? And this is amazing. Whenever we get gifts, I'm like blown away by people.
Well, now I want to know who's coming for my neck. He can't leave me with that.
We'll get to it.
All right,
Oh
so
my
it says
goodness.
April 17th, 2016. Dear Adam, Jesse, and Steve. I like that we were mentioned first.
Oh,
Jesse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, Jesse not mentioned first.
Back in March,
Used to it.
I tweeted a picture of a vase that looked suspiciously like the Stanley Cup. When Adam responded, I had moved on to my next project in clay. I wanted to say thank you for keeping me company while at the wheel, pottery and driving, because they, pottery wheel, driving wheel, by sending these to you. So she's obviously made these. Laura has made these. I look forward to hearing you discuss the Marlies while I move back to Maryland to cheer for the Capitals this month. I'll say that again. I look forward to you guys discussing the Marlies while I move back to Maryland to cheer for the Capitals this month. Thanks, Laura.
I think she might be kidding.
Yeah.
I think she
at IRG Mini on Twitter. IRG Mini.
What up?
All right. So Laura sent us these. So Jesse, you want to open yours first?
Sure.
Jesse's going to go first, and then I will go second, and then Steve
Jesse
will go
gets
third.
to go first. Look at this guy.
We'll let Jesse go.
Oh, no, I believe this isn't for me.
Oh, here. Do you want to trade? All right.
There you go.
So here's So what she has done is she's made us beautiful mugs.
Oh, do I get to open mine?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You guys are all mine is shattered into all kinds of pieces. Are you kidding me? Look at that. There's the camera.
Show the camera.
I am here.
So Laura went to all the trouble on her pottery wheel to make us these beautiful
but the S,
mugs.
the S is still there.
The S is still there.
I can see the S perfectly fine.
So what happened was
the universe decided not another free thing.
No, exactly. Despite the package being marked fragile. Or fragile. It was kicked around and used as a basketball at some point because it arrived. Jesse and I opened it and saw that only ours had survived. Laura, we so appreciate it, and we thought it would be hilarious to reveal that to Steve.
There's a comic in the newspaper.
Is it Family Circus?
I don't get it. No.
Anyway,
thanks for nothing, Laura. Thanks for your garbage gifts.
I like my A. I like my A. It's very snaz.
Oh well, it's okay. I'll drink.
Steve, do you want me to give you the box to put?
I'll drink out of this.
You can take the box that it came in, so you can keep all the parts together.
I'll probably scald myself.
Glue it back together. He's so disappointed. He's so disappointed.
Could you feel that it was broken?
Oh, we opened it. We
knew.
And
you gave it to me anyway.
Well, what else were we gonna do?
I don't know. Be good friends.
We just thought it would be a good reveal. Yeah. Now, I also want to mention Steve is wearing something very important today from a good friend.
Oh, from a good friend. My Titans jersey finally arrived. Yay!
Apparently,
you didn't get ripped off.
She wrote their names in the bottom. Her name in the bottom.
Oh, cool.
Did she?
LRM 2016.
There you go.
Yeah. Look at that.
Can you see that on your?
If I piece them together, if I piece these two chunks together, I can see.
So just so everybody knows, when I do order gifts for Steve, they do come. It's just that they had a mix-up in the mailroom. Several of my girlfriend's Christmas presents and Steve's Christmas presents were given to me last week.
LRM stands for Look at This Ruined Mug.
Sorry, buddy. Let's do the press conference.
Steve.
Oh yeah, who wants to come for my neck and who's going to do it? Because now I got ceramic to fight you off.
Manky Mank, I believe his name is. Just wants to let you know that everyone on PSN is coughing because they're homesick from their real jobs or school. And Steve is the only fancy man who gets time to play Chell during the day.
Oh,
that is why everyone is coughing in your PSN.
Fair enough.
No. No.
Dad!
No.
Did you see what I tweeted the other night?
No.
There was just some fucking guy. I think he was either on the phone with a friend or he was in a private party with a friend because I couldn't fucking hear him. Or no, I could hear him fine. I couldn't hear who he was talking to. So yeah, this is what I was playing with the whole game. Again, no one else is on headset. Yeah. No, I know. No, the other week I was on that. Yeah. Man, what's with the passing in this game? This game's kind of like, yeah, I know. No, you're right. No, it's like, the good. Shut the fuck up! God damn it, you're coming through my TV.
Do you have
you one-way conversation have an asshole?
Do you have an option to shut off talking?
I just, you know what? I wanted to hear him after a while. I want to be like, I want to see how long this asshole does it for, and I want to hear what he says. I also want to tweet a video of it, and I did.
Nice.
Second question. When the Oilers win the draft lottery, who do you think leaves town to make room for Matthews? Adam and Steve?
No one.
Oh,
keep them all together.
Jesse.
Yeah?
You got to keep them all together. They got the piece they need now. This is the piece they need.
Remember last year when they got the piece they need?
They got it. They're done. You got to keep them together. In fact, you know what? You risk going above the cap. You do whatever you can to keep that team together. They got a bright future.
By the way, we will talk about the draft next episode. So I'm leaving
Saturday
it.
is Christmas.
I leave it because Saturday is either Christmas or it's hell.
No, there's only one option.
I will be covering it live. I don't know how. I don't know how just yet. No, we're talking at Sportsnet. We're talking about it.
Third question. Would you rather see Ovi or Thornton get a cup this year?
Ooh, damn.
Because it looks like it's going to be their two teams in the finals.
If
don't
Washington
make me
gets
pick.
past Pittsburgh. Adam, who you got? Well, Steve.
See, the Caps could do this again next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is San Jose's last kick.
I want Joe Thornton to win it so he can pass it to James Reimer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Reimer puts it over the top. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Okay.
He got 2 shutouts for them in the regular season.
I know. In his first, 4 games or something?
8.
Amazing.
Or something like that. Yeah, he only played 8 games. 2 of them were shutouts.
Another Reddit question. Got 3 upvotes.
Wow.
Hey, guys. I'm a Blackhawks fan.
Boo.
Sorry.
The Hawks haven't been out this early in years. I think I may need to take up a new hobby now that my schedule is a little lighter.
In years.
What do Leafs
Since
fans...
2011.
What do
5
Leafs fans,
years. Shut the fuck up.
What do Leafs fans do during the playoffs? He needs a hobby.
The answer is not play golf. A-holes. We don't play golf. Golf's boring.
What do you mean the
We
Laughs don't play golf? Aren't the Laughs golfing? You bunch of sheep.
It's literally like your uncle from 1942 came up with that joke and never let it go because that was his crowning achievement.
Imagine having the same insult every year for your entire life.
Ooh.
What have you contributed to the planet?
Right?
What do? You know what? You look forward to next year and you appreciate the good hockey. You appreciate the good hockey. Man, who wasn't watching Game 7 of the Blackhawks Blues? There were probably fans at Game 6 of Nashville-Anaheim watching that game on their phone.
Do you see they kept cutting to Nashville-Anaheim? They kept doing these weird 30-second thing, and then Strombo would come in with a voiceover because they'd be like, that's too long in the game. It was weird.
I'm not sure. I think that might have been depending on what channel you watched on. Did you watch on CBC or Sportsnet?
I watched on Game Center.
Oh, interesting. Because I started on Sportsnet and I was like, "What's going on?" And then I put it on CBC and it was uninterrupted.
Yeah,
so I don't know what
switched
happened
over
there.
to the CBC eventually.
I don't know what happened there.
You know what I do?
The whole hockey world was talking about that.
Do you want to know what I do?
What do you
Every time the Leafs don't make it past the first round, which has been the best part of my life, actually, I seethe. I get angry. I am disappointed. I now go online and shoot people in the head in Star Wars Battlefront. But before I had that outlet, I would just sit on that anger and then explode the next season when, again, the same things kept happening.
Sorry.
What I would say is that worked really well for me because I feel like I'm a well-adjusted, pretty cool guy.
If I can, first of all, yes. Second of all, can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Just watch the DVD recapping their win last year. You spoiled brat.
Yeah, really.
Damn Blackhawks. This is what it feels like. You have no fucking clue
I would
what
love
it feels
to.
like. None of you do.
I would love to know what it's like to have a team expected to go past the first round. Like you're confident.
The Toronto Raptors.
I wonder what it's
Not expected.
No, it doesn't
Even going
count.
into the playoffs, they're
Doesn't
not expected
count.
to go past the first round. And it's like in Toronto, it's
Blues.
a freaking shock if they win a game in the first round. The Blue Jays getting to the second round? Oh my God. That was like
well, they were at the end. I would say they were expected. When
Yes.
we went.
That
Yes.
would have been a huge upset of Texas, especially if they swept them. They
Yeah.
almost did. I'm at the point where if the Raptors get knocked out round one this year, fuck you. I'm not paying attention.
Yeah,
I'm not.
You blow up the team.
I'm not. Like,
Well, they don't
I
have a
think you're
choice. I
allowed
don't-
to be a fair weather fan.
I don't know if I'll be watching the game tonight. Better see a killer instinct from DeMar DeRozan tonight,
my
or
God. Oh my God.
or honestly, he's gone next year.
It's just, hey, you want to walk away? Okay, we don't care.
Yeah,
You-
the
you
Net
didn't do
series.
anything.
The Net series was awesome. The Wizards series was a travesty. And if they lose this one, which they're heavily favored in, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Like last year, there's no way they should have got swept, but they
No.
did. They should have won last year.
All 3 years, we've been the better team.
Yes.
But like, no, the Nets series was incredible. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, and they were they lose by 1 point.
We still almost won 50 games
So-
the regular season.
so just,
we won the division.
Just so you can understand where a Toronto fan comes from, we don't win anything ever. Ever.
Ever.
Freaking ever. We barely make the effing playoffs. So for us, it's like you're asking us what we do. I seethe. I'm mad. I hate it. I really hate it. Because you know what? Toronto is better than 99% of the freaking cities in North America
Whoa.
and in the world.
Whoa.
And the fact that we have so much trouble winning here has nothing to do with the fan base, nothing to do with the country we're in, everything to do with the way the teams have been managed. And as I've told you before, the reason the Leafs haven't won has been gross mismanagement. Year after year, regime after regime. I'll say the same thing about the Raptors. I mean, I remember talking to Richard Petty about Kevin O'Neill. He was on this show talking to Kevin O'Neill, the reason that Vince Carter wanted to leave. Like it was just like these are things that happened that should have never happened. And Richard even admitted that.
I told you, Toronto is old Gil from The Simpsons.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to put it together this time. Oh, we got the Pacers in round one. Oh, God. Oh, we're just...
And what I love about Shanahan is like, no. We are going to do this. We're going to do this right. We're going to do it beyond just drafting because, by the way, it takes more than just drafting. And we're going to expect to win. Not win a round, not win 2, not win 3, win the whole damn thing every year.
All right, well, we might be bad for a while. As opposed to what?
We're always bad.
Exactly. Do it the right way.
So let's be bad, but with a goal in mind.
You guys, the Toronto Argos won the Grey Cup in 2012.
In an 8-team league.
The NHL was 6 teams when we won the Stanley Cup, so
Yeah.
does it count?
Yeah, there have been... with no
By
disrespect...
60 standards, yes.
No disrespect to the Argos, because you know what? Those are great football players. A lot of them, the only reason that they're in the CFL and a lot of reasons is just straight up stature, just genetics. These guys are all, they're all very good athletes. It's just that a lot of the times they're a lot smaller than NFL athletes. So they can't compete size-wise, or there's a mark against them from scouts just because of that. I don't know. It's just there's something about that sport that I can't get into. And maybe it's because I'm an NFL snob. Maybe that's okay. Maybe it's not okay. I don't know.
Adam, NFL fan. Just here, you a big NFL fan?
I am.
Okay, so the both of you. Explain to me why Tom Brady is suspended for something he did 2 years ago.
Because there's a lot of procedures they had to go through to get.
But wasn't it thrown out?
They went to an appeals court, which you can do.
Who's
under
they? NFL?
The NFL, which you can do under the law of the United States of America.
But how did it get thrown out in the first place?
The judge decided that they didn't have a right to suspend Tom Brady.
No, the judge decided that Tom
Sports.
Brady didn't do it.
It's a goddamn
No,
game.
they weren't ruling on whether he did it or not. They were ruling on if they had a right to suspend him for that action.
They did.
And they said they did not, and they threw out his suspension. And then the NFL's like, no, we're going to appeal that. And then they did appeal it, and the judge...
He broke the rules.
And then the judge said,
It's
he
that
broke
scene
it.
from South Park.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So now he's suspended.
Here's my question. How does he get out of it this time? He's going to.
The Supreme Court. But that's probably not going to happen.
Why not?
Because the Supreme Court's going to be like, this is stupid.
Didn't one of you try to tell me how his contract is designed for this to happen?
It's great. Adam, you want to go into that?
Well, what happened was they knew that this was going to be the ruling. So the Patriots redid Brady's contract, because in the NFL you can do that. Signed him to a 2-year deal.
Oh, yeah.
How much does Tom Brady make this year?
$1 million. Now ask me what a signing bonus is.
What's the signing bonus?
$28 million.
Which is guaranteed, which he gets to keep, which he already has.
Yeah. So the best part about this is that now, when he gets suspended for the 4 games, which he's going to have to sit out, there's no recourse. He will lose $250,000 a game rather than whatever it would have been under $900. It would have been $2.5 million or something like that, because he was making $9 million a year plus bonus.
Roger Goodell, LLLL.
Oh well. Yeah.
And the team will be fine. They'll go 3-1 or whatever.
Yeah, because they're the freaking Patriots. So anyway,
they're the Blackhawks.
Sports, everybody. Sports.
I saw this tweet. It was like, Tom Brady deflates a football. He needs to go to jail. Greg Hardy and Johnny Manziel abuse women. And then it was NFL. Booga.
Really? The only reason the NFL has not suspended Manziel is because he'll never play in the NFL again.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the story is.
He's an alcoholic.
He's
an alcoholic. Yeah. That's what it is. And unfortunately, with addicts, they can't stop. And what have we always said on this show? We need to invest in mental health.
Yeah.
That's the problem right now.
And it seemed pretty obvious, like just from everything I've ever seen of him hanging out with friends, that he just surrounds himself with fucking morons, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now, to protect myself, I'm going to say that what I said about Manziel is alleged from everything that I've read. I have no personal source that tells me that. Just taking myself off the hook there.
Fair.
Just in case Johnny gets mad.
Fair.
By the way, if he sued me, he'd be awfully disappointed because I couldn't hand over much. Anyway, we're going to go now. We're going to wrap it up. Play it safe, if you will. And we'll be back on Thursday when we're going to talk about, of all things, the draft lottery.
Hey, Adam.
The draft lottery.
I'm going to drink some nice tea out of this cup.
You going to sip some tea?
What are you going to do with your
I might
mug?
spill some tea.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a nice McDonald's cup you got there, Steve. Sure. It's too bad your cup didn't make it from Laura, who's cheering for the Caps. Laura.
What are you going to do with your mug, Steve?
Keep it as a representation and reminder of our friendship.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.